Ladies and Germans, how are you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
Nine hello, hello, hello.
And as always, folks, are bringing you a nice 1v1 over here in Steel Division 2, continuing our coverage of the Orsha Cup. We are going actually to Ostrono, or Ostrano, or Poblano, or something like that. A map we haven't actually experienced too much together. But Rang, who's fighting and matchup look like?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have the burdened warrior, and he is playing the burdened, or he has the burden of 5th Panzer under his belt with Vanguard income, which is a very interesting income thing for 5th Panzer. And on the right-hand side, we have AmberT playing as the classic 26 guard Strelkovi, or Strelocki, with balanced income.
So, other than the map, which I'm sure we'll get to as we go along, and first of all, yay, this is our second cast in a row with flags. Um, but 5th Panzer versus Strakovi, how is that going to look? I mean, we do see an early AA piece on either side. We see very, very light tanks, but how does that match up in terms of infantry?
Strelkovi pretty much wins in terms of the infantry. They got a lot of very good, well, more spammable options with 5th Panzer. You got a few Panzer Grenadiers here and there you can throw in, but you're a little bit more reserved in terms of throwing your guys' human wraith tactics into the enemy front line.
Okay, so it does look like both sides over here are setting up for a push right along this kind of centrist position.
Hmm.
I find it interesting, actually, up to the north, we're only going to see a single MG42, probably in my mind, get itself set up maybe on that uppermost, northernmost flag right there at just the edge of the
Yeah,
woods.
yeah, that'll probably be the smart spot.
And a
Oh,
similar
for
thing happening
sure.
down below with the anti-tank gun as well as the MG42 down there.
Hmm.
I confess, we don't often see such a defensive build. In fact, I can't really see how often we actually bring in MG42s as the opening card.
Yeah, you don't see them all too often. I'm really interested to see how Burden does this 5th Panzer A-Phase play, because it is possible. You can make 5th Panzer to be a pretty good A-Phase Rust deck. I mean, you got the early Tigers and Panthers that you can take, and he's just going to try and do that Schwerpunkt
Hmm.
through the middle, it seems.
Well, what I didn't check before, oh, okay, actually, you know what? We don't have air such trooping, so I like this already.
Yeah, just Pioneers. Yeah, he definitely want. Well, he has a few assets,
Yeah.
like one or two in the middle. Mostly Pioneers. You really do want more specialist troops for forest engagement.
But it's not a spam, though, which was just my entire point, I think. But look at this collection of guns.
uh,
Get out of the trucks, Hans! Quick!
bail, bail.
Wow, actually, that was a really good reaction. I mean, it sounds ridiculous that it's such a minor thing, but all four trucks are very quickly off
Mm-hmm.
that road, and just in time, too. So 7 Ultimate Cheeky squads. No, excuse
Oh
me.
yeah,
A nice mix of guards, DPs, and Ultimate Cheeky. But all the same.
yeah. This is gonna be pretty
6
crazy.
squads of Russian infantry coming forward.
This is gonna be pretty crazy, yo. Because Burton Warrior does have that mortar half track, and that can easily make short work of those avtos, and he is in range of corrected shot.
Yes, he is. And almost more so than that, he's actually targeting perfect positioning already. Oof,
Oh
that's
yeah.
beautiful. And there's only one officer squad up front too, as you might suspect. So if they can go and aggress ever so slightly, they could completely and totally devastate this early infantry
Ah,
from the
that was.
Soviets.
Yeah, like you said, that was perfect positioning, pretty much completely suppressing all the Soviet infantry blob, yeah. And the Tiger just has that road on lockdown, you know, he is going to face a bit of a harder opponent with that IS-1.
That's true, but there's a second one coming in as well, so I can't hate on that too much. And we can actually see the early collection of guns, shockingly enough, has not fallen to pieces just yet.
Yeah, the Tiger's definitely taking its sweet time, trying to pick him off run by run. The Forest fight is going very well, the Pioneers pushing through. And yeah, Burden Warrior only with that one flag lead, he definitely wants to try to get, you know, a 2-tick lead over his enemy.
Well, and the nice thing about this overall is the lucky thing I would say for AmberT is that the Germans don't have that committed anti-tank in the infantry again. We talk about this all the
Hmm.
time, but the nice thing about them though is that they're holding just enough of that forest, so when the Russians try to make a nice push back in, it's going to be nearly impossible. You're going to come right into range of the Ledungs, and there's a lot of them still ready to go.
Yeah, well, I'm not liking the look of full burdened is down south because his run machine gun team has just got knocked out, and this would be a perfect time for AmberT to try to make some sort of push over here, but he's mainly committed most of his forces in the middle, rightfully so, to try and, block his huge advance. But, Ori's switch gears a bit and try to attack another flank is always a good idea.
I don't know if he realizes, though, how little of resources are there. I think he probably correctly suspects that there is an anti-tank gun or two. At least it's that Pack 40, which will dominate the incoming road. So either you send infantry across unsupported, or you risk losing a lot of early tanks. And 26 Stokovi doesn't have a lot to call on in that A, especially not with a balanced income.
It's definitely probably going to be a bit more B-phase spam. He does take A-phase KV runs, which is pretty interesting. A lot of people I notice tend to like to take the B-phase models, or not B-phase model, but the B-phase card instead. But early heavy armor is definitely going to help out. Maybe not so much against Tigers, but against German infantry.
Well, not just the early KV-1s, but also he's got the OT-34s.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of really, really early investment into his armor, which I don't know if that's going to pay off in the end. Ultima Cheeky, by the way, making a sustained rush into this forest. If the Gebote Ledungs doesn't keep him at bay, this could go very, very poorly.
Yeah. Yeah, the leaders nearby are going to be bumped up to 1 to 2 star veterancy. Yeah, they always have some Mashikis. They're going to make. I think I've got to make short work of the Pios.
Unless, of course, we have the mortar coming on in, and we do. OT-34 is moving up. I think he's going to try to engage these Tigers, and that's going to be a very, very one-sided fight. Gun jammed, and kill. Yep, there we go.
I feel like Burden needs to be putting a bit more pressure on the enemy. You're already halfway through A phase, and he only has a 1 flank advantage over AmberT. And really, with such a Vanguard income, you need to be trying to make big strides, big pushes.
Yeah, but I kind of wonder to a certain extent, is he using this just to kind of load up on a lot of heavy vehicles? We have 3 Tigers, 4 Tigers, and a Panzer IV down south. And you're correct in pointing out that legitimately there's not a whole lot there to contest AmberT moving forward, but neither is a whole lot really pushing back on Burdened Warrior.
Yeah, there's no real heavy AT, it seems, so far from AmberT in A phase. It's mainly just 45mm guns and, some KVs and T-34. So those Tigers are going to have an absolute field day against anything so far. But running into B phase, hopefully AmberT has some ZIS-2s or SU-85s, or maybe even some ISUs.
I actually do like this Panzervernichtungs squad coming on in, so the Panzer Schreck's going to be instrumental in forcing back that IS-1. And that by itself, I actually really do love seeing tanks play in the trees.
Yeah. Especially in, medium forests, it is definitely a worthwhile risk to take, as you can usually get a good shot in before those scary Panzerfaust come and blow you up. Fortunately for him, there are no Panzerfausts in this forest at the moment.
That is about to change, though. I am surprised. You said about the infantry fight going over here to AmberT. Is it mismanagement that's keeping his infantry at bay, or is it just very, very kind of, for lack of a better term, piss poor luck?
Or AmberT?
Yes, sir.
I think it's a good use of Pioneers and just getting those, and the good use of Pioneers and mainly the mortar half track, because that mortar half track, as you see, is just bloody deadly against infantry. Always take mortar half track, guys, in your German dice. Just because of the corrected shot bonuses and how you're going to keep it so close to the front line usually, you can just do so much damage so quickly.
Now, one thing we haven't called out, but there's a 120mm mortar over here from the Russian side, and a very early command vehicle coming in as well. Ooh, and IL-2. This is going to be a tough ask. Going after a Tiger, that's a tough nut to crack there. I want to check the penetration on that.
Yeah, he's a little bit far away, so he's coming in for a side shot.
Engine damaged, crew knocked out, transmission damaged, but no kill.
No kill.
And 2 Foxholes, yeah. I don't care if you have a ZSU down there, doesn't mean jack. The IL-2's dead.
Yeah, 2 pilots probably going, but yeah.
Is that basically him saying some NSFW kind of material?
Very naughty words.
Goes down.
In the forest?
And I think we're going to see the OT-34 go down too. It's up. engine damaged, that's almost just as good.
Hmm.
He's already punched above his weight. Oh, geez, and these AT guns have all been brought in are getting wrecked as well.
His forest position has been pretty clutch for Bird and Warrior so far. That Panzerkampfwagen call was a fantastic idea, knocking out both of those tanks.
I completely agree. Now, one Focke-Wulf is going to die because that Yak 9 is just too crappy to catch up to him, and therefore has a lot of time to, to
Hmm.
get on his tail. And while we are getting, like you said, very close over here to Phase B, I want to hate on Burdened Warrior, but he's slowly grinding back forwards. He's doing exactly, I think, what he needs to be doing.
Yeah, he's okay. He's almost at ×2 with the one flag here, but he has been winning engagements. Just still just needs to grab a little bit more ground. It can be tough to get some of the flags on this map, especially towards the middle, where there's so much open ground, and even on the flanks too. The flags are pretty much an open ground and spread out. But he's building up a force, and he's got a pretty damn good force. All his tigers are still alive, and he still has control of that vital middle forest.
Now, one thing if he could do is kind of pinch and take out those Automachiki squads instead of pushing his tigers too close.
Hmm.
Those two Automachiki squads and the guard squads on the hill, he takes those guys out, and it's going to be a very, very difficult position to crack.
Yep, he's bringing out some Earthhounds trooping to try to help clear the Ray. His mortar half-track is out of ammo, and I think he didn't take an A-phase supply truck, or maybe he just didn't bother to buy a supply truck, because you kind of want to keep that mortar half-track well-fed.
True. Now, another IL-2 is coming in, and I'm surprised you don't see a Vector Focke-Wulf there. There we go. There's the Vectoring Focke-Wulf.
So cool seeing that IL-2 comes in. Just like all the guns shooting, because it shoots really bloody fast.
Wow, that was a quick kill. Yo,
Yak
442,
attack.
what are you doing?
Blazing around.
Well, in the meantime, the Automachiki squads are getting pinched. And actually, that's a hefty loss in air power early on here.
Mm-hmm. Pioneer coming in. Gonna yeet over the grenade, and that's gonna be a dead AmberT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Though up on the ridge line, the two guard squads were able to take out the opposite number over here, and should be able to take out the P-Grunt squad in the open pretty easily. Now,
Yeah.
once the Tigers see them and come out to play, well, that's going to be a much more difficult prospect. There's the Opal Blitz. So there's mortars in the other supplied right there, another Pack 40 in the center, and a Hummel.
Oh. Interesting call. Bringing in heavy artillery very early on. Well, not very early, but rather early on.
I'm going to continue to watch this hill position get plastered, because you can see it's happening already.
Mm-hmm.
And, ooh, I even like this half-track to kind of minorly support it. As always, we don't see a lot of half-tracks over here for the Eastern German divisions. Wait, Yak 9 coming in.
Oh.
This is going to be iffy.
50-50.
Okay, that's one.
There you go. Yeah, he's definitely want to get AA net out now. Yeah. Oh, wow, he actually shoots it down, just barely. But like I said, Burden really wants to get AA net out now, because those cluster bombers are terrifying when you're a Tiger tanker.
Yes, they are. But I will say also, though, that the AmberT's Air Force has been taking some hefty losses. There's still plenty to go around, but that's been a lot of losses. The KV-1s, by the way, are getting engaged hardcore. And are they reversing? Good, they are reversing. I thought they were just driving backwards. I was like, you are not an Archer tank.
The Archer tank is so funny, because is it forward, is it backward? Who really knows? It's people view it as different ways.
Also, there was a half-track over here that's got forced into a surrender by this, like, ooh-rah, that gets yelled by that guard squad up on the hill.
The pack gun is going to finish him off.
I should think so.
Yeah, this is going pretty well.
Yeah, you know, I agree with you that I'm surprised that AmberT has not been more aggressive in the south here. He's got field guns, he's got infantry, he's got a lot going on. I just feel like a concerted push, you have to know your opponent's strength is just basically concentrated in that center line. You're not going to beat that for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just think it's general reluctantness. I don't blame him because it's a lot of open ground between you and the enemy and a lot of machine guns covering that open ground. But once you manage to push to the other side and into that forest, the flags are pretty easy to capture as they're all pretty close together and in good cover.
So you're saying basically, yes, I know the hillside is a hill of death, but we got to continue pushing no matter what?
Yeah, once you get over that initial no man's land, it's all smooth sailing after you, and knocking out those flags would be huge for AmberT. I'd pretty much sway the entire match to his favour.
Well, another Yak 9 coming on in. I'm not sure to what end. He's just flying combat air patrol. Okay. Now, 5th Panzer, are we going to see any late game bombers?
Probably, I'm gonna guess not. I'm guessing for Burden Warrior, he mainly just bringing in fighters more than anything to try to keep skies clear, and spend more of those activation points on heavy tanks, like Receive the Panther down south, and also anti-air, because he's got himself the flak in on the back of a truck.
Yes, we do. Now, we are seeing the 120mm mortar is firing its last rounds down here to the south in an effort to suppress these machine gun teams. Unfortunately for him, I don't think he still knows there's a P4 there.
Nope, that P4's in a hidden position. It's not exposing itself along the tree line, so he's just waiting to move up and get a shot when he sees something actually scary moves up.
I am also actually enjoying, though, this Soviet push, this attempt to kind of maybe begin to aggress on, let's call it the Northern Bastion.
Oh, yeah.
And another Hummel, though. So I'm surprised we're not seeing counter battery fire looking to find that mortar. Instead, we're trying to get shots on this field howitzer very, very close.
Bird and Warrior probably can make a good push to capture that very high hill in the middle. There's all these infantry units nearby and even a recon half-track, so if he can cap, yeah, that's a huge spot. If he can control where OB25 is, you just put some guys in the forest and boom, you overlook pretty much the entire Soviet deployment line.
But we are really seeing a ton of armor buildup, though. We have 4 Su-85s on the map, 2 KV-1s, and all I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing this Pack 40 get nice and close. This is going to be a field day for him.
Yeah. Those Su-85s, like, spamming them is definitely the best call, as I believe they're the only units in his deck that have 85mm APCR shells, which can easily make short work of Tigers, so it's what you want.
True. True. The issue, though, is getting that paper bear close enough to not get crushed.
I mean, it has them mainly in the medium forest, light forest, which is pretty good. And that's where you're really going to be using your tank destroyers. In forests, hidden, ambushing. The Pack 40, like you said, are just going to get some lovely kills.
Well, the Tiger's already getting himself engaged as well. He doesn't care that his engine is damaged. Bailed out. That's a kill right there. And this Pack 40 is going to have a beautiful shot when these... Oh, no, infantry just bailed out. That's probably a good call there. All right.
The Tiger, like you said, he doesn't care. He's a turret, and he's absolutely blowing the smoke out of those KVs.
Well, and the center line flags and get picked up here in a second. One guard squad's not going to be able to force back 2 Pioneers.
Nope.
And 1410. Oh, because they dropped the southern VP. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be the hill captured for Burtons, and that's a huge play. Like you said, once you shut up on there, get a tank or two, you can pretty much shut down a lot of armored play.
I don't know if he was trying to unmask. Yes, he was trying to unmask the AA. Interesting call there. Very interesting call, but he has no artillery for it.
Oh, he is. Oh, now he's buying artillery, and the rather heavy kind. I like that. I like that. Doing a little bit of reconnaissance, see where their fire comes from, and slap it down and shoot it.
Yeah, you gotta, wait a second. Okay, airsat spam to the south. Are we gonna see a concerted push to retake this center line?
Maybe.
Four airsats troop. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, he's gonna run into his 45mm AT gun as he deploys along the road. Yeah, it's just the kind of silly,
unfortunate thing about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And moving that nice little delicate left to right shot should be nice and easy. It's not firing.
Come on! What the hell?
It's not hold fire. It's
No.
not an there it is. Finally, he finally sees it, but he might get one shot, one opportunity, and he blows it.
I think
He just let it slip.
I think he was suffering from a bit of a hangover.
I thought, but
Oh god damn it! I just realised your joke.
There you go.
Yeah, I took a lot of it. I took a lot of it. A 280 is firing.
The 280, yeah, I was gonna say the 280 though is hitting that forest. So again, he's desperate to push them back. But you go into the forest, so what? You're gonna put yourself right into the opportunity to put a half track nice and close, or an awful lot of firepower. And indeed, I think we're getting more infantry squads going to that forest. Yeah, we are 2 more pioneer squads.
Yeah, even though the income disparity isn't in too much of Burden's favour, he just brought himself £2 for G's, and the main thing is he's kept most of his tigers alive since A phase, so he still has the armour advantage, quote-unquote, over AmberT. Your AmberT is starting to build up a force, he has all his S-35s, and now an Andrusha.
Oh, this is Andreyusha?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is, okay. Yeah, he's going to just hammer that forest, and I think he might be announcing himself. It's a little bit too much here with that. Using the 280, you've got to know, if you're the Germans, that you got to clear out that forest, at least for the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, Burden Warriors is pretty happy. I mean, he's trying to push, but he's doing pretty good with just the 1-tick bleed over AmberT. But, like, once we get into later stages of the game, it's probably going to get even worse with the income disparity and probably with how Burden Warrior has his deck set up.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, even with the Su-85 spam, which is coming on, he's going to have 7 of them on the map.
God.
Even
I hope
with
he
that,
spreads
though,
him.
He's not. He's got 5 of them in the same freaking forest, and the other 2 are going there just as...
He does have him bumped to 2-star. Well, okay, this is the commanders right next to him, but if he manages to keep him with that 3-star veterancy, they should be able to make short work of his Tiger tanks.
Now, I am fascinated about this attempt. I'm going to see... They're probably going to see the mortar half-track aim for that infantry in a second. Tiger is posting himself up, so this is going to be terrible for the Soviets. DP squads aren't going to do a whole lot against that. And what's worse yet is that I feel like if AmberT loses even 1 or 2 of these squads, he's going to drop 2 or 3 flags pretty quick.
Yeah. It's pretty close, especially on that hill in the middle. Fortunately, the guards aren't going to be bothering to move up, and even if they do, the pioneers will make short work of him.
Indeed. It's so weird to me. This has become, you know, what is it, Pavel's house? Was that the whole thing from Stalingrad?
Yeah, Pavlov's house.
Well, I feel like that's the forest. It's like Hans's forest. This is the Schwarzwald.
I'm trying to think of, like, a German name that starts in F. Frederick's Forest.
And some infantry already is going down. The Su-85s are coming out of the trees, and there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 German heavy tanks that can take them as they approach. First one has a gun jam.
Yeah, maybe moving the Su-85s out in the open, especially when you don't have recon set up, is probably not a good idea.
And he's not even used this to, like, unmask for the Andreyushas. This is something that you have to know. You got to pound that town.
Yeah. Burden Warrior does have fantastic position with his Panther tanks in the medium forests themselves, and he's lost 2 Su-85s, I believe, so that's not good.
Well, don't worry, he's got another 6. One's retreating still, but he's got 6 more ready to go. The 280 now is finally looking for the tanks in the north, but big freaking deal. And the Soviets drop a radio as well. They don't get too many of those.
No, they don't. But you definitely want to try to keep them alive as, well, you know, your 280mm howitzer can take advantage of it.
Okay, one Tiger's going to face off against the might of the Su-85 platoon. Turret stuck.
There's a goddamn firing range. But the Tiger does back out.
I say, interestingly, first of all, we see this massive swath of Soviet infantry coming on in, and the Andreyusha, I thought he was posting up forwards, but I was incorrect there. Now, for the Germans, do you try to start barraging that collection of Su-85s, or what do you do?
Yeah, you just hit the SU-85s, especially when they're so clumped up. It's just asking to be blown up to hell and back by heavy artillery. But he is going to be using his Hummels instead right now to try to counter battery the Russian artillery. This isn't also a bad idea, even though it's just one 20 mil.
Wow. One
Oh
shot, and the entire
god!
squad goes down.
Direct it. He should definitely play Battleship.
Now, one thing I was hoping for is I'd like... Ooh, we have two more Panther Gs coming in. I would have loved to have seen them start to shell this road. They've got to know that this is the main artillery. You shut that down, you shut down the Russian hopes in the center.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really have a whole lot of eyes on it. Like, we have one Pioneer squad who sees little bits and pieces, but it's not enough time to readjust.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't tried to move any tanks onto a hill, because that is such a great firing spot. It does leave you a little bit exposed, I'm not gonna lie, but being able to just shut down that road with a Panther G or two is usually all you need.
But you know what? They still have two Panther Gs coming on in, and not for nothing, but that Soviet infantry is still going to get plastered.
Yeah, he's our guard TP squads, so they are pretty good at long range against German infantry, but Germans have pioneers in the forest. And you don't mess with pioneers in the forest.
Well, and the hero half-track.
Mm-hmm. Going into Frederick's forest, and it's not going to go well.
And one thing that's also kind of amusing to me is that the Su-85's like, oh, well, we can't actually kill the infantry, or kill the tanks. We might as well just shell the infantry on the hillside.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the best thing they've done the entire time.
Oh, they're going to be fighting the Panthers now, I believe. This is going to get interesting. The Panthers are a little bit outgunned. Oh, Panther, the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, the other one had his ammunition deactivated for a brief second.
Yeah, but they've already killed two. Two Su-85s are already dead. Okay, so one's falling back. That's going to stink a little bit. Driver's knocked out. This could be a dead Panther. You're right. I'm surprised I'm not seeing a little bit more of a pinch happening over here from the other German heavy tanks.
Yeah, this is definitely the moment where I want to try to, deploy our heavy tanks nearby to get some shots into this, huge armored blob. And AmberT should probably, maybe move some of these S-35s down south a bit, spread them out a bit, not have them be in this one giant blob where they're all easily concentrated and you keep an eye on them.
Well, I think you called it right before that there should have been a going around the right way sooner than what happens. Now we have a Panther, we have Recon, we have a P4, we have all these MGs. Like, you're not going to get through that with any kind of surety.
Yeah.
And this IL-2 is going to get plastered. Ooh, he did kill a Tiger though.
Oh, got a side shot. But yeah, he's dead. He is totally dead.
Only question is going to be who's going to get the kill. And the Focke-Wulf's going to get it. He might pay with it with his life.
It's always so satisfying to see an IL gets killed, because it usually has pretty piss poor penetration, like 60 mil or so. So it's always a very satisfying to see it actually work.
The Yak-9 just has it forced to back away, and Frederick's Forest is the home of just some of the fiercest fighting we've seen probably in the entire match. Everything's been happening, I'd say, within this 1 kilometer between the top of this hill and the bottom of this hill.
Yep. This is... Yeah, it's definitely been the center point, the focal point. The guard TPs are pinned.
Yes, but you know what? I think AmberT heard you. He's moving all 5 of his Su-85s down around to the south. Problem with that, though, is that I think we have even the P4 slide up a little bit, and I think the half-track will see him pretty darn soon.
There's a Panther G nearby as well, in a forest. Yeah,
Well,
easy.
And the Pac-40. If he moves just a little bit to the south, he might be able to get some line of sight. Maybe not.
Yeah, this is not gonna go well. He doesn't really have recon or infantry support on him, so yeah.
The Panther's rotating.
Yeah. And then, yeah, the Panther and the Panzer IV, they just get into that medium forest, and they can get like 1 or 2 surprise shots before the S-85s can really retaliate.
Indeed. Now, at long last, we're actually going to see some infantry getting brought to the south. 6 squads worth of DP guards. 7 squads worth of DP guards. But once again, a little bit... 8 squads... okay, well, Ultima Shiki now, too. But it's just, it's too little too late. Yes, you have the income advantage, but what have you done with your troops the entire game? I feel like he's been tossing them away almost way too
Yeah,
blithely.
yeah, and and Bird and Rory has just done a lovely job of keeping the majority of his heavy tanks alive. And we got an Intensify in, but that's probably not going to do too much. I mean, just scare the Panthers for a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? Big stinking deal at the moment, you know?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just these S-35s haven't really done much. I'm actually quite surprised we haven't seen any KV-85s. Those are usually a pretty popular choice of 26 guards.
Actually, I
So,
love this. Panther came out, fired 2 shots, bailed out, and wounded one of the Su-85s,
oh yeah.
and completely checked that push. Very often, I think we tend to think about, ooh, wait, Yak 9 coming in. Never mind. We tend to think about this. Okay, I have to kill everyone to force them back. No, all you have to do is mark that line in the sand, saying basically you're not getting past this.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think Burden Warrior, say what you want to, he's had a very good job doing that. This Faka Wolf's gonna die, but he might be able to freak out the Yak 9 just enough. Maybe not. Okay.
But the Ac-9 once again not going for the gun run. Or a bomb run, I should say.
Maybe he doesn't see him though.
Yeah. It's probably the
Nope, he
case, he
does.
doesn't have recon there. Oh, yeah. 50-50. Orsha coin.
Think of it this way though too. Even if he kills that one, he's still down 14-10. Now here's anti-air down to the south, so
Mm-hmm.
that gap has been filled.
Oh, this infantry push from AmberT might actually work out now.
Coming across this open field, no, it's not. I have an MG42 right
Oh,
there.
oh yeah, and there's the Panthers are moving up
Forgive me, I
towards the
didn't mean
back.
to sound quite so, harsh about that. But
So
I was like,
just
wait a
coming
second.
in with the shutdown. Okay, the MT-42s. Oh god, yeah, they do have rather long range. I forget about
And like you said, we still have that Panthers in the back who can still engage that. Throw back, send me all the troops that you want to. I have Panthers and I have a couple of MG42s. You're not getting past that.
Mm-hmm.
Not without heavy artillery, and he's wasted it. Uncharacteristic play from AmberT. I feel like we usually see a little bit tighter.
Yeah, it's definitely felt a bit more like spammy and just throw stuff at the wall and hope it works. The Pioneers down south and Burden have managed to make a very good flank and actually capturing a flag here, so that's gonna be
Oh,
pretty
on
good.
the hillside, you mean? Oh, no, down
The
south.
south.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Well, there's that 145 mil that was there the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at this point, I'm just watching that poor 30 core, I mean, the 26 Strakovi, moving around that single highway to hell and getting absolutely shredded.
Oh god, and the artillery is coming down now as well. Yeah, it was maybe not. I mean, I can respect the push of trying to like charge across, but
Too little, too
he,
late.
yeah, he blobbed a little bit too much. And up north, Frederick's Forest is still under Frederick's control, and yeah, a lot of the Russian. He definitely everything was really down to S-35 push, and he botched it up.
Regrettably, yes.
Hmm.
I just legitimately those infantry squads moving forward. All I could think was a bridge too far. That initial kind of like skirmish with the Germans.
Yes, yes.
Oh man, the artillery has been the king of this battlefield, though. You cannot deny that part.
Yeah, getting these Hummels out, especially very early on, and the mod half track, have definitely
Yes.
been very, very useful. And even from the Russians too, yeah, 1-280 has been rather decent.
I don't know. I feel like if I have to call the KD on this, though, it's probably going to be almost 2-1, I would say, in favor of Burden Warrior.
Yeah, I'd say so. Especially if the Rays, throwing array of S-35s.
I didn't even see a couple more get hit, but one of them. Oh, there is an ISU 152, but regrettably, he's just going to get freaked out into oblivion. And the Sturmoviki LPOs, well, that's great and all that, but again, just a bit short.
Mm-hmm. At one Pioneer just wrecking havoc in the forest.
And lest we not pay attention to it, that Pack 40 has been having efficient shot. He is getting into
Oh
the
yeah.
that KV1, and I believe he's going to get a kill here.
Such a good spot for an AT gun.
Oh, wow,
You got
jeez.
great cover, long range, open field, and the high ground. Everything you want as a anti-tank gunner.
True, except for maybe tanks that don't fire back.
Yeah, I'd
Oh, you Panther, that was a
be
kill
better.
steal, and you know it.
I'm playing too much War Thunder at Panther.
Yeah, clearly. Oh, this is okay. I have a bit of a self-satisfied thing here. We have the Panther G, a Tiger Fury, two Panthers and a Tiger Fury, SU-85s start their own little private
Oh
charge of the
no.
Light Brigade, and they realize what kind
Think
of
of the
folly that
tank
might be.
crews.
Yep, I think he is, which is why he's backing up right now.
Yeah.
In any case, though, I mean, it's kind of nice to see a new map. You and I have not done a cast on this map yet, and
No.
now solid. It's really, really solid play by
It's
the
a
5th Panzer.
Yeah, and this is a really cool map. I like how like it's pretty much split like a lot of maps. It's split on three sides, with the southern side being no man's land, the middle being like Frederick's Forest and fighting over that hilltop, which is fun, fighting over the elevated position. And up north is still a little bit more no man's landy, but you got a bit of a fight for the town.
Yeah, I was going to say, we really didn't see a whole lot there. We are going to see the ISU-152 desperately trying to get line of sight on something.
Hmm.
But as we tick off the last couple of seconds here, what can you do? We've covered pretty much everything that's gone on so far.
Yeah.
Regrettably, Warrior wasn't the one feeling the burden today. I think that was more AmberT.
No, not at all. I'm really happy to see if like a phase 5th Panzer play actually work, because a lot of people, feel like a 5th Panzer you have to play Balance or Juggernaut, and Rachel C phase like of Panzer ST-44 and spam Panthers and Tigers to your heart content. Oh god, the KD.
But shockingly enough, from the kill side or the losses side of things, there's not a lot of like crazy standouts. It's just the trades have been coming through been so much better. Like Joachim the Vernichtungstungs taking an IS-1 and the OT-34 early.
Yeah.
Clutch kills. And man, that chronology pretty much says it all, doesn't it? The first 9 minutes.
Yep, that's a lot of dead red.
I mean, that's the entire difference right there. I mean, the first 9 minutes we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles getting knocked out with its airplanes or tanks, and not cheap ones either.
Those Tigers just had open field engagement, and yeah, I feel like with AmberT, he definitely needed some bit heavier AT early on, maybe like a ZIS 2-gun hero, yeah, because really it's only heavy AT for the most of that match. Was like at one IS-1, and then the SU-85s, which he threw away. He didn't even have KV-85s, which is definitely an odd choice.
Yeah, supremely. But you know what? Still a fascinating game for both players.
Yeah, great match.
Indeed, and with that in mind, what do we know? Remember what the next one is? I don't off the top of my head.
I have gold fist memory.
Who am I talking to again?
What am I doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing here?
Well, folks, in the meantime, though, what we are going to do is dip out of this one. Feel free to come back in a couple of days to see the next brutally awesome game. For right now, though, I am Con Ulrich.
And I think I'm Rangru. Take it easy.